Hello, welcome to Dear Dr. Mao every Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today's topic is staying healthy while navigating the reopening. Many states are in various phases of reopening from the pandemic lockdown. However, we're still not out of the woods yet with the COVID infection. For instance, Texas, Arizona, and Oregon saw significant spikes last week in new corona infection. And here in California, the number of new reported cases has been climbing at an alarming clip in recent weeks. Last Friday's new records shatter the previous single day high of 3,131 cases, which was set just last Monday. Nevertheless, state officials began rolling out guidelines for how gyms, bars, campgrounds, professional sports, and other businesses could resume operation as soon as next week. Given the pandemic's fitful nature, our first foray back into community spaces will also feel tentative and cautious at best. And that is a good thing. If there is a silver lining to all of this, it is better public health hygiene. Take public restrooms, for example. I don't have to tell you how often I've seen people not wash their hands after going to the bathroom. I've admonished a few. I've also cringed at crowded restaurants where the space between tables is barely passable. And when someone laughs out loud at the next table, I hurriedly cover my plate with a napkin. Standing in line at store checkout counter, I can literally feel the droplets attacking the back of my head and neck when someone behind me sneezes or coughs without covering their face. It is not that I don't like to be close to others. It's that I prefer not to exchange any body fluids with strangers. And I hope you can understand that. So, how do you protect your health and safety while navigating reopening when so many people may still be carrying the virus with them? By the way, what I'm about to share with you applies to any time when you're out in public, even after the pandemic is over. First, establish a healthy boundary with a bubble of space around you. Now, how far that space depends on where you live. The World Health Organization recommends social distancing of 1 meter, and that's a little over 3 feet. Here in the US, the CDC recommends 6 feet. Germany and Austria split the difference. In some places, it's simply not possible to have 6 feet of space around you. The important thing, though, is to have some kind of boundary when you're gathered in a space with other people. And if maintaining 6 feet is impossible, then put on your mask and kindly ask people around you to respect your boundary. Second, avoid the rush. When the weather heats up, everybody heads to the beach. The parking lot is crowded, and while you can spread out on the sand if you're lucky enough to find your safety bubble, you may think twice about using the restroom. So, wherever people are rushing to, I suggest go somewhere else where there are less people. I know that during hot summer weekends here in LA, when everyone heads out of the city to the coast, I make the contrarian move of heading into the city where it tends to be deserted and I can roam quietly by myself. Third, be prepared to clean. Always carry tissue, paper towels, and hand sanitizers with you. Clean your hands after touching surfaces in public, ranging from door handles to gas pumps to signing for your credit card purchases. If you're sitting down at a table, clean the surface where you will be touching. And remember, do not touch your face, nose, and eyes until you've washed your hands thoroughly with soap and water. Now, for years, whenever I got on a plane, for example, I've had a habit of wiping down the tray table, armrests, and seat back and headrest. This has caused many embarrassing moments for my kids and looks of consternation from many a seatmate. Well, I am so happy that now the rest of the world is finally catching up with me. All right. Last, but most importantly, change your priorities. The quarantine has made all of us realize just how much we can get by without and just how radically we can change our habits overnight. As reopening progresses, we may decide that we can, in fact, keep our online meditation and exercise class going in the comforts of our home or office, access telemedicine appointments with our doctors instead of running constantly to them each time we feel a symptom, and cook more at home so we can choose the ingredients that are ultimately good for our health. Whatever you thought you absolutely couldn't do without before, you're now in a position to reevaluate what is important to you. In essence, what the pandemic has created is an opportunity for lasting change for individuals as well as societies. For many people, the quarantine has actually cultivated more joy, connection, and a sense of community. The shared realization and communal mindset could lead people to prioritize collective goals in the midst of the reopening, such as prioritizing public hygiene, increase access to healthcare, positive reforms to law enforcement, and mitigate climate change. Stay safe and healthy through the reopening. Tune in next week when I'll be talking about getting outside in the great outdoors and preventing vector-borne disease, illnesses like Lyme, dengue, West Nile, and Zika carried by those pesky ticks and mosquitoes. Until then, live long, live strong, and live happy.